welcome to another game in which I'm going to be playing Renekton top lane versus an Urgot. I have Zyra mid lane versus a Diana, I have Ezreal Blitzcrank versus a Caitlyn Lulu, and I have Nocturne in the jungle versus a Jarvan 4. So let's jump in and see how this goes anyway. So I picked the Renekton first. Why? Renekton currently very strong. He can build damage, he can build health, he bullies top lane to an extreme length, and it's very hard to get him out of lane. He has sustain, and overall he suits just about any team comp. Now, naturally, give the Nocturne a nice pull, give him Smiteless, and then head to lane. Now, my first impression was, okay, it's going to be an Urgot top. Now, my first thought was, this could be a pain in the arse, because Urgot naturally does damage just by building Armor Pen, and he's ranged, and his passive reduces AD damage. So, I thought to myself, he could be a bit of a pain in the arse. But I also thought, if I can bully him early enough, his early lane dominance will have no meaning to me, and I will just eventually push him to the extreme, and he won't be able to actually engage me. If I can bully him enough, hopefully he'll fall behind to the point where Jarvan ganks won't phase me, and I'll be able to just reign supreme on the lane. So, the initial information I take from the lane is, he's going to try and poke me. And that's fine. Whenever there's a full wave of minions, I'm going to go straight into that wave, and I'm going to just Q it. If I've got a Fury Q, bonus. I then regain all the health that I've lost from his spellcasts. I then engage, disengage constantly by going on him with E, Q, W, and so forth. Every time I do this, he's actually losing more life than I am. He's also unable to fight back, and I regain any health that I was missing prior to that. So, at first, he is struggling against me. My sole goal is to be aggressive. I'm not too fussed about missing a bit of farm. And then, Nocturne comes in, and I'm like, okay, let's try and dive this. And then Jarvan's here, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near that. So, Urgot's gone back, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and push this now. And then Jarvan's still here, and I'm like, okay, I might not want to be here anymore. But I stay just briefly, and then just to get the remaining farm, because I kind of first thought that Urgot would TP, but apparently not. So I go back anyway. Jarvan cleans up that top lane, and Urgot comes back. I go back, I buy a Giant's Belt, another ward, some pots. Now, my first item is going to be a Sunfire Cape. Reason being, health, armor, and the AoE damage. As Renekton, generally, a Sunfire Cape is well worth having, because it allows you to very quickly push the lane, because one Q, E, and your Sunfire combo just allows you to clear out a wave very quickly. But anyway, Urgot gets ganked again by my Nocturne and me, so we just destroy him, and I start pushing him for the tower a bit. Or, that was my first idea, and then I realised, actually, I bullied him, he's still got TP, I'm going to go back, get boots, get some more pots, and then come back and continue the aggression. Now, at that point, he was actually starting to hurt me, but that was mostly because he had the mana, and he started building armor. Anyway, Jarvan ganks me here. I'm like, okay, I don't want to have any partake in any of this, so I'm just going to walk away. I take quite a bit of damage, but I've got pots, and I've still got my sustain from Q, so it's not hurt me hugely. And I'm not particularly scared of Urgot at this point. I wait a few seconds, let myself be certain that the Jarvan is left, and then I go back to being aggressive and just generally being a pain in the arse for the Urgot. I do realise that he's starting to hurt me quite badly, and that I need my armor sooner rather than later. So I'm thinking, maybe I should go back, but then I think, actually, if I just play this right, I'm going to get the next load of farm, and he's not going to be able to do anything to me anyway. So, he tries, and then I ult, and then I just hate the farm, and I'm like, okay, I'll just go back. I don't mind. not having my ult, it's no biggie. So I buy a cloth armor and I buy some more pots. Now, I've got armor now, so what I want to be is aggressive against him again. Now that I'm full health, and he's running low on mana, because he's starting to spam in lane to try and farm, and to get his tier up. Which is fine, he can do that. But he's going to lose out later, because he's not going to have the mana to be aggressive against me anymore. And then I'm just going to start destroying him. So every time I get the opportunity, I'm going on him. I don't care if I miss out on a tiny bit of farm, because at this point, all I want to do is push him out of lane and try and get this tower quickly. He ults me, I ult. Maybe I didn't need to ult at this point, but I was doing it just in case. And it kind of scares him. He doesn't want to be near me when I've got my ult up. So I just push up, basically, and wait patiently to get this tower. He's still in lane, rather low, so I keep jumping on his face, keep doing some damage, and just generally being a lane bully as always. He's been quite effective though, and he eventually has been starting to bully me as well. But as Renekton, I'm going to have a better impact on late game anyway, and I had already screwed up his early, so I'm fine with this. I don't really mind. I continue to be aggressive, and then Jarvan comes and I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't want to partake in that. And I'll flash out and I'll come back to farming. Urgot's gone back. Fine, okay, I'll go back as well then. I buy a chain vest, and then I realise they have a certain lack of CC. They've only really got Lulu polymorph and slow, Urgot slow, the Diana slow, and the snare from Yordle snap traps on Caitlyn. So I just go for Ninja Tabby, reduce his auto attack damage, and give myself a bit more armor. At this point, he's trying to be aggressive, he's trying to be clever. It's sort of working, but I've now got a hell of a ton of armor, so it doesn't matter. He's got his armor pen, but I'm just going to be aggressive against him, and I'm tankier than him. I do more natural damage than he does. He does need that armor pen, and he does have it, but I've got the armor to withstand it. And as long as I'm aggressive and he's not able to be too aggressive against me, I'm just going to destroy him in lane anyway. So I continue to push and try and brutalize him in lane. He's TP'd at this point, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take this tower. So I take this tower really quickly, and then once I've gotten this, I go back, buy myself a Sunfire Cape and a Longsword. Longsword is for either a Brutalizer or a Bilgewater Cutlass. Bilgewater Cutlass is very effective on Renekton because Blade of the Rune King is actually very strong. Not necessarily for the attack speed, but for the active part and the extra AD. The active part, if nobody knows, deals percentage of the enemy's health, and then half of that or all of that, I can't remember exactly, but some of that damage or all of it turns into health for you. So it allows you to fight longer against your opponent, it allows you to suddenly turn around on them, and it also gives you a way of slowing, because it puts a slow on them. Anyway, I jump onto this Urgot here, he's flashes, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough of you, I'm going to flash after you. So I keep going on him, and eventually I just go slice into him, Q, boom, ignite, dead. I don't want anything else to do with him, I just want him dead. And then I push up this lane as quickly as I can, boom, boom, quickly, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to come down and help with the up and coming fight, which I can see that's happening, because Blitzcrank gets caught. I'm like, okay, I'm incoming. So I jump in, and then I jump straight onto the Diana and just obliterate her, and then we chase down, kill the Lulu, and take down 2 of their guys for our support. Okay, fine, we killed their support, but we killed their mid as well. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident with myself. I'm being more used to the Urgot. Even though he did TP, I got the tower at that point, so I'm feeling that I'm having more impact, and I go for a Bilgewater Cutlass for the extra damage and for the slow and the lifesteal, all of which benefit me, allow me to better engage people, chase people. It also gives me that tiny bit of extra damage, not necessarily needed at this point, but it certainly helps. And also, I don't feel that my target's going to be the Urgot anyway, and the rest of them aren't building a lot of armour other than Jarvan. That's fine. I'm not aiming for them. They're tanks. They're not my goal. My goal is to kill their carries. So we catch on to Lulu. Lulu gets away. Jarvan gets away, but then we hook him, and it's like he gets away still. He uses his locket. And then I'm like, I want to kill you, but I'm not going to manage to. So instead I go for the Urgot, which is stupid enough to be here, and he dies. Like a fool. And we're like, okay, cool. And in this period of time, Ezreal's just pushing bot lane. And there's nothing they can do. So we're just pushing in here. Diana goes onto us, we obliterate her, and then we catch out Caitlyn, and then we go for Jarvan. We just get a load of free kills for nothing. They basically just walked into us and died. And we're like, okay, cool. So we push down this a little bit, and then Ezreal gets caught, dies, and we're like, okay, we'll back off. Urgot chases me down, thinking that he's clever, and then stunned, feared, everything knocked up, bloom, and slaughtered. Tasty crab though, I must say. Anyway, I go back. Pretty pleased with myself there. Yeah, could have gone better maybe if Ezreal hadn't dived quite so far. But anyway, I go back, I get another giant spell, I get a dagger for my Blade of the Ruined King, and I head back into the fray. They're preparing for dragon. We're like, okay, you're not getting that for free, so we're going to come along and fight for it. They chuck a ward over on us pretty much outside the bush. We chuck some wards out on them, and then Zyra gets caught out a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, fine. So they use a lot of stuff on Zyra, and then I go in, chase down, boom, kill Lulu. Zyra gets killed by the Diana, and then I'm like, okay, hello Diana, you're caught in the middle of us all. I'll just let my team finish you after doing a bit of damage. Urgot comes in, kill him. Oh look, Jarvan's here as well, kill him. And then me, Ezreal, Blitz chase down the Caitlyn. Blitz gets grabbed, boom, dead. We get an ace, we lose our AP carry. Fine. I go in here, I push this lane up a bit, and then I'm like, okay, not worth the risk, so I go back. And then realise their blue's up, I'm like, okay, help Ezreal get that quickly, and then I'll go clean out this lane, and then I'll go back. And then I buy some wards. I didn't have enough for anything else, sadly. Really, not enough for the items that I wanted anyway, so I just head back to fight for the next objective or for a tower or something like that. So I go off and I give us a ward close to Baron, so we've got an idea if they're over there, they're not, they're pushing over lanes, fine. And we're like, okay, we'll just push here into mid lane. Ezreal's bottom pushing on his own, fine, we don't really need him, they're pretty stupid anyway. Jarvan comes in, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on you a bit, and then I get a bit uncertain about who to go for, so I chase down these guys, and then Blitz is there catching out onto the Jarvan. We can't go on him either, but Ezreal's just pushing at this point, and we're just distracting them. Urgot's trying to be clever and trying to go on us, and we're like, nope, stunned, and run away. Then they engage on us, and we're like, okay, fine, fight us. Jarvan's pretty low at this point. We just try and kill him. I die, but my team then sort of pushes out, and then they start to lose the fight, and then Lulu gets killed, and so does Urgot. Caitlyn also just about nearly dies but gets away, then double kills Blitzcrank and Nocturne. Fine, whatever. I go over the top lane, push this back as quickly as I can. I've got my Blade of the Ruined King now, so it's easy for me to stick onto Caitlyn and hopefully obliterate her. We catch up the Lulu, kill her. She wasn't too pleased with that. And then we're like, okay, we'll just take Baron then. Rush Baron. Yoink. We like Baron. Baron gives us advantages. And then we go off, try and catch people out. We catch out Urgot, obliterate him. I chase down the stupid Jarvan, and then I'm like, ooh, hello Caitlyn, come back here. Boom, stunned, doom, dead, very much dead. And they were like, hello Diana. I'm like, push. The team's going off for Baron, and I go off, catch out Lulu, and chase her down. She gets away. Fine, whatever. I'm not really gonna chase her down. It's not worth the effort. So I just go over to mid lane, push that up a bit, and then because the team's gone back, I go back as well, buy Warmog's armor with some additional health, allow myself to survive more burst, and generally just stick on their carries. And then we have a little fight here. I'm sort of stuck in the middle of them all, and they're using a lot of stuff on me. A tank, okay. Cool. I do lots of damage, yeah, it's not worth focusing me though. We sort of chase down the Lulu, and then Blitz get grabs, I stun, dead, and then we walk off with the kill, and then go to mid lane and take the inhibitor. Pretty confident, and then we're like, okay, there's 4 of them dead, only Caitlyn's alive, and we're like, let's just go push for the win here, we might as well. So we tried to catch on to Caitlyn anyway, but in the end we just go straight for the towers. Caitlyn's trying to focus us, and then she dies. Okay, very much dead. And then we're like, okay, hello Nexus. Catch on to Jarvan, obliterate him as quickly as we can, or try to, and then he gets away, and then we're like, okay, take the Nexus then. Overall, I feel this game went relatively well. I obliterated Urgot in lane pretty much. Didn't necessarily kill him, but I got rid of his key element, which is to bully that lane. I instead bullied him. So overall, I feel I did really well. Thoroughly enjoying Renekton. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also follow me and like me on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for watching.